What's going on, guys? Alex here. Welcome back to another episode of How To, and today I'm going to show you guys how to install a rotor accent color kit onto your rotor. So let's go ahead and bring the camera in a little bit more overhead so you guys can actually see what I'm doing and we can get going. Alrighty, so let's go ahead and get started. What you're going to need for this is if you have a, I believe, V2 and up rotor, you're going to need a Phillips head screwdriver. Just like this. If you have a V1 rotor, the screws that are usually going to be these Phillips head screws are going to be an Allen key. So obviously, I think most of us are just going to be needing this Phillips head screwdriver. And then a little later on, I'm not going to show exactly how I do it because I'm not actually going to do it, but you're going to need a pick to get these jewels off, which I'm not going to do, but I'll show you what you're going to have to do that if you want to. So first off, let's go ahead and just take the top off the rotor here. We can do this whole top part first. So I'm going to go ahead and put the bottom of the rotor aside. So we got the whole top part of the rotor here. So if we flip it over on the inside, you see all the silver dots. You've got screws here and here, 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 and here. We're going to go ahead and take those out. So don't worry if you lose one of these while you're doing this, or you've lost one in the past or whatever. If you have a when you bought your rotor color accent kit on the new top section, it does have a full set of screws that come with it. That's kind of nice. And go ahead and get this last one out. Alright, so put those screws aside. So at this point, you can just push down on this this section right here that the lid pin actually goes through right in the middle. You can just go ahead and push that down, and then the top will come off as long as the lid's not actually closed. So this the pull latch button right here on the top doesn't get caught. So you should have a rotor top part of the shell minus this whole top piece right here. So this is your old part right here. You can go ahead and just put that whole one aside and grab the new one out of your color accent kit. Obviously I'm going to be using this blue one. So I'm going to take that out, and then I'm going to have to take the screws out of here that have been put in here from the factory. I apologize for the awkward silence while I do this. I didn't pre-do this because it's honestly not that big of a time gap. It's not that big of a deal. Oh boy. I apologize if you can actually see my breath on video. It is quite cold in this building right now. It is the middle of January. That one didn't, there we go. And let's just get this last one off. Nope, and there goes my phone. I must have an email. Alright, so there's all the screws. You can all go over. You can all go over there. So what you're going to need to do is flip the lid up, so it's like that, and then you're going to just, where those screws came out, you're going to see all those little notches, and they're just going to sit right down into the top section, where the old top section used to be. And just go ahead and just kind of press fit that down in there like that. And at that point, if you push this down, you can go ahead and close the lid if that makes it easier for you. And now we're gonna go ahead and put all those screws back in. I highly suggest doing both of the ends first because it has a tendency to not curve as much as the top shell of the rotor. Out of the box, it tends to be more flat, so you might have to kind of hold it in place and curve it a little while you're doing this. Let's go ahead and put these end screws in, and then we can worry about the ones in the middle. Alrighty. And for the purposes of this video, I'm not going to put the two middle screws in because that's just a waste of time, because I'm just going to have to take this back off. But you would put those last two back in right there where you got them, but I don't need to do it. So. And there you go, there's your top section. So the other thing we need to do with the top section is we need to replace these little clear windows that are on the side. So the way you do that is you're going to come in from the inside on I believe the top is probably the easiest way to start. you're going to push out from the inside of the window, and you're going to have to push quite firmly because it's basically just kind of snap clipped in there. The front part of it, however, is not snap clipped in there. It kind of slides in. It has like a little channel cut out on the window itself, which you'll see when I take it out. But this back part is just kind of two little snap tabs that you just kind of press fit in. So we're going to push out from the inside of this and snap that top part out. So like so. So it doesn't take a whole lot of force. So at which point it's gonna look like that. So the window's gonna be, let's see if I can, the window's gonna be out just a hair here. You can see it kind of poking out right here. So at which point, because this basically slides in with these channels up front, you're just gonna take the window and you're gonna pull it and slide it back towards the back of the loader, and eventually you just kind of press it enough, it just slides out just like that. So you can see with the window right here on the screen, you can see it's kind of got a channel kind of carved in it. So when you go to put the new ones in, we're gonna have to slide it in all the way and then just kind of push the back in and snap clip it in. So there's one window. Let's go ahead and do that with the other side. Let's push that back part out here. Eventually, there it goes. And then we should just be able to slide the window back and it'll come right out. So there's the other window. So I'm gonna grab the two new colored windows from my kit right here. Obviously there's one for each side and they're specific to each side, but it's pretty easy to tell. Obviously just make the shapes match. So we're gonna do the same thing that we did to take those out, but do it in reverse. So again, these channels that are kind of cut in here, we're gonna start just kind of sliding it down in place and make sure those channels go on the groove that you're gonna see on the inside of the hole for the window. So just kind of make sure that those grooves line up, and you'll be able to tell because you're either gonna be able to, it would probably help if I actually did the right side. See, I can't do shapes, square peg, round hole, that's my problem. So obviously when you're pushing these forward into the grooves, you're going to be able to tell really quick if they're in the grooves or not, because it's either just going to keep going forward or it's just going to stop and it won't go forward at all. And if it stops and won't go forward at all, usually you can just kind of push it down and it'll set into those grooves like I just did, at which point you can just continue to push it forward until it fills up the gap. And then just like we took it out, we're just gonna push the back section. We're just gonna push from the outside and it'll just snap in, like so. And let's go ahead and do that from the other side. So just make sure those grooves are lined up. And it's all the way forward, and let's just push down and it'll snap in. So there we go. So there's the top section of your rotor. You get the whole new top plate and lid, and your new colored windows. Mine is blue, obviously, on olive. Thought that kind of looked a little neat. So we're done with the top section. So the only thing that's left in the color kit, which if I can get these to come out, apparently they don't want to come out. They're held in by tabs. There we go. So I'm not actually going to swap the jewels on this video, obviously because this is a brand new rotor and I'm not going to do that. But what you would do, you can do this one of two ways. So the jewels that you're going to get out of your color kit, if you look on the back, they have sticky paper on them that's covering them. So obviously you don't want to take that off until you absolutely have to. So what you're going to want to do is you can either do one of two things. If you don't care about the jewels that are already there, or your rotor's already missing them, obviously that is going to be easy. You can just, if you don't care about them, you know, usually they kind of peel up a little bit anyway, or you can use something like this pick and just kind of slide it in and just kind of pry the jewel out, and you can just rip the jewel out if you don't care about them. Obviously if they're not there, you're all set, they're not there. If you do care about them, the easiest way to get them out without damaging them, so you can maybe save them for whatever, is probably to use a heat gun or something like that. You can heat it up, it'll heat up all the glue and sticky on the other side of this, and you'll be able to just kind of lift it right off. So what you would do is you would get that off however you wanted. I would probably recommend after that you scrub this little indentation where the jewel is with some rubbing alcohol. Make sure it's not dirty or anything like that. So when we go to put the new jewel in, we take the tape off the back so it's all sticky, and very carefully so you don't get your fingers all over the back of the sticky part and make it not sticky. You're going to go ahead and smush it in there, and I would probably just sit there and hold it for a little while. You know, and then that would pretty much be it. You do that for both sides, obviously. And that would be pretty much it. So at the end of the day, you go ahead and put your rotor all back together. And there you go. Now you have, in my case, I have an olive and blue rotor. If you pretend real hard, those jewels are blue and not black. But yeah, there you go. You would be all set. You got your new top section, your new windows, and your new jewels if you decide to do that or not. Yeah, that's about it. So nice, quick, and easy. Obviously, if you want to swap it back to your stock parts, you do the same exact thing. So yeah, that's about it, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. Hope you learned something. If not, I apologize. Can't get you every time. Yeah, if you enjoyed the video, I'd really appreciate it if you hit the like button. It really helps out the channel a lot. And that's all I got for you guys for now. So I will see you guys next time.